ACC wins plus 10 in conference play is a record from 3 to 13 this season, and we are underway today from Winston-Salem.
Now, Wake turns it over 19% of the time. VCU turns it over 21% of the time. So both coaches are like, when we get a shot, it goes pretty well. But, you know, sometimes you got to take these guys in for the eye test to make sure they know the color of their own jersey, Mike. I mean, this is like how bad it is sometimes, those turnovers. But when they don't, they can both really pass the basketball.
It's exactly what each coach told us, as you said, as Dallas Walton hits a 3-ball for Wake Forest, and they're on the board first.
Hey, it's 7 feet tall. Why not step out to the corner? And that's exactly what Mike Rhodes told us about. Wake is great at those corner threes, and there you go.
What did you just say about the turnovers on each end of the court on that sequence that we just saw?
But you saw it. First possession, you get a shot, goes in. Second possession, just a bad bounce pass. And that frustrates you as a coach because you go, guys, we're actually better than probably we think we are on the offensive end. And it's just about mental sharpness sometimes with turning the ball over.
You got to feel like after each team's first round win, the talk and the thoughts about how come and potentially we could have made the NCAA tournament, that's kind of in the past now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, now you're hearing the taxis, you know, you're smelling the hot dogs, New York City. That's what it's all about, getting to the Garden. And that could be a really special experience for these young student athletes.
Here's Keyshawn Curry for 3. That's no good. Good offensive rebound by Ace Baldwin. He keeps it alive for the Rams.
Yeah, Ace Baldwin leads their team in assists. He's very active from the point guard position.
Good extra pass, and it's Vince Williams who hits the 3 and ties this game up. A minute and a half gone by.
At 38% from downtown. He's improved his body. He's improved his stamina. And at 6'6", with that silky delivery, he's a guy who's on some NBA radars.
Good rotation here for Wake Forest, and on the drive, missing is Davion Williamson. An offensive rebound, though, by Jake LaRavia. And now it's tipped up in the air by Curry, but recovered by Nucius. And a foul is called as Alondis Williams takes it strong to the hole.
Alondis Williams, so elite, penetrating, gets into the defense, gets hit. I mean, how about the improvement for the transfer from Oklahoma? He averaged 6 points a game at Oklahoma. And, you know, talking to Steve Forbes, it was like, well, what did you do differently to get him up to 18 points per game? And he kind of laughed and said, well, it's got to be the coaching, right? But
yeah,
sometimes it's just the fit and the amount he gets to the basketball here. Now, he's got to improve the outside shooting a little bit, but other than that, man, does he do it all. He rebounds from the point guard position, 6.5 a game. That's remarkable.
Well, and that number that was highlighted, the assists, that's what he likes the best. He's a playmaker and a great passer and a very unselfish player for also being a scorer.
Yeah, and that's rare, right? A lot of scorers, they kind of have tunnel vision on the hoop, but he's got unbelievable feel on the offensive end.
The foul for VCU was on Keyshawn Curry, and now Vince Williams gathers it and scores it to tie the game at 5.
Yeah, VCU is going to pressure a lot more than they did in the first round against Princeton because Princeton has Tosan Iwoma, who plays center for them, but he basically plays like a point guard. So they just gave it to him and he brought it up. So they're going to be able to bring the heat a lot more consistently against Wake.
Isaiah Nucius has it, finds Williams, heavily guarded in the corner, and it's a steal. Take away. That was Baldwin that knocked it out of his hands. Curry on the drive, and he's fouled. Now the officials want to talk it over here.
Yep, look clean.
2-shot foul.
To me, it looked like a jump ball, but how about this steal? VCU, they're like sharks when blood's in the water. I mean, there is no passes against VCU that are safe. They're long, they're active, and the other thing is they tip balls on the player they're guarding so they don't have to get out of position to get steals.
Really good point. Nucius was called the foul for Wake Forest, his first. This is Keyshawn Curry coming off that 23-point effort in the win for VCU over Princeton in the first round the other night, 90-79.
Man, Jake LaRavia got really lucky. He almost threw it directly to VCU on the inbound.
Williamson, and he is tied up underneath. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow stays with Wake Forest as Williams made a nice defensive play.
Yeah, and their half-court defense is elite as well. It's not just the pressure and the press, but when they set back in the half court, they're incredibly disciplined
Well, they do it again. The crowd wants a foul. LaRavia goes in strong, but instead it's VCU the other way with Williams.
Yeah, they don't like it, but it's clean.
Now, you make an excellent point, Noah, about the half-court defense for VCU and how that's improved, and that's through Coach Rhodes, who's now in his 5th season for the Rams, and he talked to us about that pregame. Here's a 3-ball. That's up and in by Jaden Nunn, the true freshman.
Yeah, Jay Nunn, as they call him, got a lot of experience in the first 8 games when Ace Baldwin was out with injury.
Ball knocked out of bounds, stays with Wake Forest. Early 10-5 advantage here for VCU.
And what you're not used to when you play against VCU is their length and their speed. So even when they don't get all the way there, they get the long arms to get in the way, but they can really slide their feet, and they're incredibly attentive to detail.
Dallas Walton now for Wake Forest. Kicks it to Williams. Williams strong to the hole again. Stays with it. Couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, a couple times there's been some contact inside, but they're vertical.
Vince Williams missing on the 3. Whistle.
If Miami's able to beat Auburn tomorrow in the tournament, all their losses, there's no bad losses. You know, they lost twice to Duke. They lost one to Duke by 2. Overtime against BC. But then their 2 other losses were to Miami. They had one to Louisville, one to LSU. I mean, it's hard to believe they didn't make the tournament. 13 wins in the ACC. That is a remarkable number. And if you look at the eye test and watch them play, you know, they're a team that easily could have been in. That's history. Now they're focused on the NIT, and they're a team that can win this thing.
Well, you saw the stat there that no combination of the coach and player of the year, coach of the year and player of the year have not made the NCAA tournament. So, I mean, there was very good reason, obviously, for them to get in. But, you know, you have to go and you say, okay, they lost to BC, right, the first game of the tournament, and that's tough. Had they been able to get by them and get one more maybe under their belts, but it's been an unbelievable season. And you can challenge the numbers. I mean, you could talk about it, right, with net and who you beat and when you beat them. And I know there's a disparity sometimes with teams in the net. So, well, they only had, you know, 1 quad 1, or they had 3, and sometimes teams are higher than the other if you're wondering why and how, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, and the more the metrics, every year they get refined and changed and tweaked, but both of these teams could have easily won several games in the NCAA tournament, and you know, it's a big reason why the NIT is exciting. These two are 2 excellent basketball teams playing in March.
They are. Turnover here. As Williams tried to get it to Nick Kern. 3-point lead for the Rams. Ball knocked out of the hands of Isaiah Musius, and it is VCU possession.
I'm telling you, as a player, when you play against somebody, even one defender that's good at those late reach-ins and getting the ball without fouling you, it's a challenge. But when you got all 5 guys doing it the entire game, it's like body blows against a boxer. It just wears you down. And you know, Isaiah Musius that time, I think he thought he had a layup, but ended up getting stripped off his leg.
Williams lost it on the drive, got stripped away. Musius has it. Hildreth thought about the 3. And that's a foul on Williams. Yeah, crashing right into Williamson. Vince Williams with his first.
We see the ball movement there on the break. A couple of semi-open shots. They pass it around. They get the ball moving and draw the foul.
LaRavia is going to put it in. Transfer out of Indiana State, first year of the program. He's got a couple years left. Nice pass inside. Gets it back, puts it up and in on the feed from Hildreth.
Well, Jake LaRavia got here at about noon. He's been shooting for hours. He's a gym rat. And the guy's got huge numbers, about 15 points a game. Shoots 56% from the field. He's incredibly efficient.
No, you couldn't have been more on top of it here from the start when you talk about the turnovers and throwing the ball away. And that's just, you can't have that.
First of all, that's what I do. I'm here all day to make good points. But no, I mean, it's amazing to watch these teams because possession to possession, if you see them score, you go, man, that is a great pass, great execution. And then the next play down, they might make a play where they just throw it out of bounds. I mean, the turnovers oftentimes for both teams are just unforced errors.
It's a point of emphasis for Coach Rhodes. No doubt, he said this offseason, they're going to be working on that and trying to do a better job of getting quality shots on the offensive end. Doesn't want to see long contested twos, and they do have to be better with their passing and moving the ball around. Here's Williams. He got it stripped. Wake Forest, good job getting their hands on the ball and into the passing lanes here. Williamson, as they attempt to take the lead here on this possession.
Yeah, Hadim C down low with a great strip.
C works his way inside. It's tipped around. VCU's got it. Curry comes down with it.
I like where his head was at with the aggressive move, but he's got to power through that contact.
And there's going to be a foul here. Called on Damari Monsanto.
I mean, Keyshawn Curry picking up right where he left off against Princeton. He's a fast penetrator, and he just wants to fly up the court and get to the bucket. But Coach Rhodes told me that sometimes he's a wild horse. You know, you got to tame him and say, hold on, don't go 1 on 4, don't go 1 on 5, but he can really put pressure on the defense in transition.
He can. It's been a really good year for the Atlantic 10 Conference here, as well as Richmond in action in round 2 of the NCAA tournament today, taking on Providence. Davidson, close one, a 1-point loss last night in that late game against Michigan State. Then you have 4 teams in the NIT here. 3 of them are still alive.
Yeah, and in that Davidson game, it was Mike Jones had a chance at a game winner.
Right.
He's a guy who hit 8 threes in the game earlier. He hits the side of the backboard. And, you know, they ran into Michigan State, who's a physical team, but a lot of A-10 in this bracket, the NIT, and a chance to have a 3 out of 4 Final Four in the NIT.
3 ball off the mark by LaRavia. Rebound pulled home by Jalen Deloach. Another true freshman for VCU. Jaden Nunn, Nick Kern, and Deloach. Future, as it always seems to be at VCU, very bright. They just kind of keep working players up through the system. That's another great job that their staff over the years has done. As they turn it over here, is recruiting and developing players and keeping them there.
Yeah, and they've got a beautiful practice facility. The door's always open. Private chef. I mean, what an opportunity as a young athlete. You get in there, you live in the gym, you get some food afterwards, and you know, both these programs have gym rats, and that's what I like to see. When we came to shoot around earlier, a ton of Wake Forest players were in before shoot around, staying after putting in the extra work.
We talked to Isaiah Musius, number 1, and number 13, Dallas Walton, before the game today. You and I did, and they said how the camaraderie with this team on and off the court has been there, and that's saying a lot as this jumper goes up and in by Hildreth, because 9 players came in this summer, right? They were coming in from all parts of the country, all different programs, and Musius was telling us that because he was the only 4-year player here, and they've all gelled and meshed together well, as evident of their 24 wins.
Yeah, and Steve Forbes let us know that that's kind of he went back to his junior college experience, where you get guys for 1 year or 2 years, and
whoa, heads up. Monsanto.
He's a driller. You know, he only has played about half the year due to injury. 40% three-point shooter. He can what they did to Kentucky.
Right.
I mean, you're just not a fully formed, well-known product until this time of the year, and then you can go back retroactively and go, wait a second, St. Peter's with Casey Nadefo and the Drame twins was a legit tough win that they got.
Yeah, as they scored here with Levi Stockard. I mean, Chattanooga, 2-point loss to a tournament team. Baylor, you know, they just lost today, but a 6- and 8-point loss to them early in the year. That's not horrible. I mean, they've had a really, really good year, but it's there's not a lot of room for error, unfortunately, and you got to get past at least 1 game in your conference tournament. I think that was kind of the key for both of these teams here tonight.
Ooh, how about that turnaround?
Walton.
Is he an impressive young man or what? I mean, he is 7 feet tall. He's a foodie. Loves to explore the town, find local food spots. He actually recommended a great burger joint called Chin Chin. I went there on his recommendation today.
You did.
He nailed it. So he could have a Food Network show later in life. I mean, what a great guy.
I'm going to ask what you got in a moment here as we've got a whistle and a kick ball. All right, because that's the place in town. The chicken waffle poppers is what I was hearing about, right? Chicken nuggets inside of a waffle. Did you get that?
I got the whatever the hangover special is.
Oh,
yes.
You know,
not because I am, but because that was what was recommended by him. Candied bacon, fried egg on it.
It's actually called the Day After Burger.
There you go.
Missed 3 ball. Wake Forest able to get it back. We're tied at 16. Halfway through this first half here today from Winston-Salem. Round 2 of the NIT. Winner moves on to the quarterfinals. A foul is called.
Ooh.
Yeah, as Hildreth got hacked.
I don't know. Looked pretty clean from up here. Cameron Hildreth, the freshman from Worthing, England. I don't know.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
But
maybe a little bit of an acting job at the end of that.
he's gonna be a big-time contributor moving forward for Wake Forest. Can really shoot the basketball.
Now his dad Brian played professionally in the BBL, and his coach at the time is Nick Nurse. Of course, now at the Raptors. He's from England. Physical player and gonna be a good addition to this team moving forward. As they're going to lose basically just 2 players, and they need to have some with the decision of whether they can come back and use that final year of eligibility. But Hadim C, number 20, and Alondis Williams, 31, are the 2 really that this is their last year for Wake Forest.
Yeah, and Alondis Williams is going to be playing and making a lot of money somewhere. The question is going to be here, is it going to be somewhere else? But his passing and his rebounding. And remember, Danny Ainge, when he looks at point guards, he says, do they rebound? Because he thinks that explains their vision, their activity. And he's just a guy who's a stat stuffer. So I see him getting a real opportunity here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Stocker to the basket for VCU has tied the game at 18. Coming up on 9 minutes left in the first half. 3 ball, that's going to be short that time by Monsanto. On the run is Curry. Oh, what a pass to the cutting Josh Banks, but he couldn't hold on.
He's a little bit behind him, a little low. Good pass. Ooh.
Laravia is fouled.
We see Alondis Williams. It's the vision to see that pass, but he threw that like the basketball was on fire. I mean, he gets rid of it quick. There's no selfishness. He just wants to get it to the open guy. That was a great pass down low.
Back to Laravia. He's blocked inside. Nice job by Hassan Ward that time. Curry finds none, and he backs it out.
And he wanted Jaden Nunn to keep going. He thought he was put the brakes on preemptively.
Williams knocked out of his hands by Laravia, and here's Hildreth. Hildreth is fouled. Curry thought he got all ball. That's going to be Keyshawn Curry's second personal foul for VCU.
Yeah, Hildreth did the right thing, got the basketball, went on a direct line to the basket. And with new basketball and analytics, a lot of guys, he had the ball. A lot of guys are thinking pull up, they're thinking, he just said, I'm going to the bucket. He drove physically. It's exactly what you got to do. The first thing on the fast break is get yourself to the bucket. If somebody stops you, you look for other guys.
17 foul by VCU here in the first half. Shooting foul, however, though, for Hildreth. And you got Nick Kern back in. Demon Deacons by 1.
Good minutes by Cameron Hildreth, who plays about 13 minutes a game, but those were productive minutes. Drew 2 fouls rather, and played very aggressive. That's what you got to do. When you're one of those guys who plays about 15 or under, make them count.
Oh, right.
Get in there, make something happen.
Yeah, no excuse not to be over 110% when you're out there. You're right.
Yeah, and he had, he did that against Duke, 8 rebounds. So it doesn't have to be scoring, but get in there, set good screens, get something going for your team.
LaRavia for the foul here for Wake Forest. Wake Forest has sent 8 guys onto the court so far today. VCU's gone 10 deep. 5 of the 8 have scored for Wake Forest thus far. Here's Kern to put it back in. 4th team foul for Wake Forest in the first half. Williams. The other Williams, Alondis Williams for Wake Forest. Count it.
I mean, how about his base? How about the stop and go, and then the ability to finish in tight quarters? He's been a little quiet. I think it's time to put the foot on the gas a little bit if you're Alondis Williams.
1 for 3 from the field, 4 points. Rebound, Williamson. VCU led by 5 early, 10-5, and now Wake Forest trying to make it a 5-point lead as Dallas Walton will head to the line for 2 shots when we come back.
But Alondis Williams, you think you've got him stopped? Nope. Stop and go, cross, finish up through some contact. What a player, the ACC Player of the Year.
Wake Forest won the NIT back in 2000. They won 22-14 that year. Dave Odom was the coach, his second to final year before he moved on. And how about that for the year 2000 for the Wake Forest Lady Deacons?
Yeah, a ton of talent on that team. Obviously, Josh Howard was the headliner, Darius Sangala, 2 NBA players. Now, you think about Wake Forest, it was the Duncan era, right into the Josh Howard era, right into the Chris Paul era. Now, I got a chance to play here as an opponent in 2006, the year after Chris Paul, but they still had a guy named Justin Gray. Now, at Princeton, we didn't even turn out the lights, okay? So we're doing starting lineups, and the Demon Deacon comes out on a Harley-Davidson motorcycle and does figure 8s on the court, and I said, we're in trouble, okay? And I hit my first 3 that game and missed 11 in a row and 1 for 12.
Oh, my.
The stuff nightmares are made out of. But once the Demon Deacon came out with the motorcycle, it was game over. We were shook.
The pregame festivities sometimes will get you.
But this is, a storied program, and it's good to see them back on top, back where they're supposed to be in a lot of people's minds, but a special place to play and so much tradition here.
That's what Coach Forbes told us earlier today. They're trying to get kind of that respect back for this program as none scores it, and the fan base, and he believes it has turned, which is a good thing because you're right. Tons of great players have come through this program in a very storied history for them. As this drive by Williams converts, and they're up 4.
And Isaiah Musias definitely seconded that and said, they're a team of a lot of guys who were looked over where they were their first stop or because of injury, and they've come together to have a great season. Right here, Alondis Williams. Wow, Skywalker. Little windmill layup. Could have been an and 1.
Second foul on Musias. For Wake Forest, they lead it by 4 under 7 minutes to play in the first half. Here's none. None. Williams, good look for 3. He got it. It's a big shot.
They passed up a couple I thought were semi-open, and then Vince Williams Jr. decided to just step up and take that 3. He's an excellent shooter.
He's got 10 points. And here's a 3 right back the other way for Davian Williamson.
Remember, played at East Tennessee State for Coach Forbes. But he was the 6th leading scorer at ETSU.
Yeah.
So he's put on 40 pounds. He's just gotten better and better. And Coach Forbes said, if you told me I'd be coaching here and he'd be playing significant minutes in the ACC a couple years ago, you would have said you're crazy. But he's improved a ton. And that's his bread and butter, knocking down the 3.
Right. He had a lot of great things to say about him. And he did have a bunch of offers, too. And he was wondering about how he would perform at this level. It's been outstanding. And he's got 1 year remaining as well. Another 3 ball, and it's good for Dallas Walton.
Was at Colorado for 4 years, was banged up, but that stroke is smooth.
They try to go up top to Ward, and it's knocked away. Alley-oop. Laravia from Williams.
Alondes Williams pushes it. Sees Jake Laravia up top. Oh, yeah. The Demon D gets rolling.
It's an 8-0 run for Wake Forest over the last 50 seconds. They're 5 for their last 5 after we had a 1-point game. What's happening here, Noah?
Well, they pushed the tempo a little bit more, got out in transition. And that was something that they talked about, at shoot-around. The players were saying, when we beat that VCU pressure, we're going to have advantages, 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s. And they've run to the hoop to get fouled and get layups and a dunk. And then they've run to those corner threes as well.
Laravia on the latest play, the alley-oop slam. He's pushed this lead up to 9. Just over 5 minutes to play in this first half. Williams again. Now tries to go inside, and he's going to be fouled by Laravia. That's going to be his second.
That's tough, because it's always tough when you call for a foul and you end up holding the basketball. You go, right. Now you can go through someone's arm and get the ball, but you feel like you got a good steal, and Laravia's going to have to go to the bench. That's a huge blow for Wake. But Wake Forest loves to run to the corners for threes. Now, in the NBA, that's the shortest three. It's not shorter in college. But what it does is it spreads out your defense. You got a guy in the corner, you got a guy running for a dunk. That's really hard to cover both.
They've done a very nice job in this first half. 4 3-pointers so far. Tip ball around. Nice job there by Deloach to get the rebound. Gets it to 9, and that's big time. Well, that play right there kept it alive, and VCU gets a 3 ball out of it. It's a 6-point game.
Yeah, J.J. Deloach, freshman. Great activity on the boards, and then excellent job to turn his head immediately and find a shooter.
Williamson kicks it, and it's a 3 for Williams. 5 threes now in this first half. 5 of 8 for Wake Forest. They're back up 9 and trying to respond as Baldwin. He can't. He's just 0 for 2 from the field right now for VCU, and right back the other way, it's Williamson.
How fun is it to watch Alondes Williams pass the basketball? I mean, he can throw the long pass on the break. He can feed the post. He can do it off transition and penetration. He is a special passer.
Crowd wanted an offensive foul, and instead it's when Wake Forest feels like it should be their ball, and instead of being up by only 7, they should be up by 11.
Yeah, and all the momentum was going Wake Forest's way. Dunks, threes, and transition.
Right.
The crowd was into it, and that's a momentum killer.
And Dallas Walton gets the foul, his first 7th team foul, and now Walton gets it back. He kicks it to the corner. And here's the 3 from Mucius that is off, and rebound by Williams. So going to turn it to a big sequence here and see if VCU can put some more points on the board.
But those were 2 great plays by Wake Forest. Alondes Williams with a beautiful pass, and then Dallas Walton at 7 feet to not charge and throw it to the corner. They didn't score, but those were 2 excellent plays on the offensive end.
Deloach for Curry. Oh, and he gets it stuck. That's a jump, and it's going to be Wake Forest possession.
Yikes, little wedgie with the Wilson basketball they're playing with. By the way, I shot around with it a little bit. It's got a different feel than the usual ball, and it's more viscous. Okay, yeah. It's got a little more friction on there, so it doesn't surprise me. They play with Nike balls usually. It's completely different.
Okay? Is it inflated all right?
It's perfect. People think I'm insane, but as a shooter, you notice these things. So I know the players do.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad ball. It's just different.
I gotcha. 3 minutes to go here in this first half. Wake Forest by 7, round 2 of the NIT. Ooh. Yeah, no, a lot of contact there. No call. VCU's got it.
Yeah, I thought that could have been an offensive on Cameron Hildreth.
Deloach got it knocked out of his hands. Here comes Monsanto. 3-ball Williamson. And none comes down with it.
See, I think there you got a contested 3 on the break. You could have got a dunk.
Deloach, oh, what a feed to a cutting Williams for 2.
That's easy money inside for Vince Williams Jr. on the cut.
And this 11-point lead from Wake Forest at the 4-minute and 16-second mark is now down to 5 in 2 minutes. Whistle, foul. Jaden Nunn, his second for VCU. 1-and-1 situation, 19 foul.
How about this passing for VCU, but you might want to locate that guy as their best player, number 10 in black. Wide open, Vince Williams Jr. Can't lose track of him ever.
Williams has got 16 points to lead all scorers here today, and 6 of 9 from the field for VCU. Here's Williamson. 1-and-1. Winner of this game gets Texas A&M in the quarterfinals. They won today 75-60 over Oregon at home. Texas A&M will host, and we're being told it's going to be on Wednesday, March 23rd. So whoever wins this game, off to Aggie land.
Yeah, and then the winner of that, of course, will get to play in the Garden.
Yep.
What a experience that'll be for these players.
Yep, you got the quarterfinals March 22nd, 23rd next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then to Madison Square Garden at the end of the month. Another turnover here, VCU. What a struggle it's been in this first half. That's their 12th turnover of the day. Williamson, rebound Williams.
He was open initially and bobbled the pass.
Noah, 13 turnovers now for VCU. They're down 7. I mean, it could be even worse.
Now, I asked Coach Mike Rhodes, what's the number you look for in terms of turnovers? And he said 17%. That's hard to gauge. I said, what about a raw number? He said probably 12 or less. That's in the game. 12
so you're
or
talking
less
over total possessions, 17% of their possessions?
Correct.
Okay.
That's the number he wants to get to. But they're way above that currently in this half.
Yeah, and they're also pretty high in the foul category here as well. That's the 10th team foul. 2 shots coming up. That's on Williams. That's his second personal foul. So you got Baldwin, Williams, Curry, and Nunn, each with 2 fouls for VCU.
Player of the year. Now, he scored 1,000 points in the JUCO ranks at Triton before he even transferred to Oklahoma. So he's got a lot of buckets in his college career.
Averaging almost 19 points a ball game, 172 assists coming in as well. There's some of the numbers here for you.
Yeah, and again, an elite defensive team, 10th in steals per game, and against an elite offensive team. Great field goal percentage, scores up in the nearly 80 points.
And it's a 9-point lead here for Wake Forest. They've led by as many as 11. We're coming up on a minute to play in the first half. Stockard working on Walton. Too strong. 4th rebound of the day for Walton to go along with 10 points. 1 behind Williams for the team high for the Demon Deacons. Here is Williams. That's too strong.
The right idea. I thought it was the right idea. Isaiah Musias was open in the corner. Or rather, that was Davian Williamson, but it was a good idea with the hook pass because he looked down low. He didn't have Dallas Walton, and he said, shooter's open in the corner, but the delivery was off.
That's the 8th turnover for Wake Forest in this first half. So we've seen 21 combined turnovers so far in this game. Still have 50 seconds left. Baldwin has been scoreless in this ball game today. Ace Baldwin averages almost 12 points a game. He's 0 for 3 from the field. They've yet to get him going. Williams is playing very well, obviously. 16 points for VCU. Curry's got 4. The Curry-Williams-Baldwin combination, as we told you at the top of the broadcast, had 63 of the 90 points in VCU's opening round win over Princeton.
Yeah, Ace Baldwin had 23 in that game.
Stockard on the foul, as Hildreth will head to the free throw line for Wake Forest, and they can push this up to double figures.
Good offense, get into the paint, draw the foul. Cameron Hildreth doing a good job getting to the free throw line. His career high in free throw attempts is 5 against VMI earlier this season. And you know, this is what you talk to coaches about, is that, and they're shooting the ball really well from the free throw line, 84%. That's been a huge storyline for Wake Forest. But you know, guys who are freshmen like Cameron Hildreth, they're different players now in March, completely different than November.
Exactly.
And he's taking advantage of his minutes. He's being rewarded with more minutes in this first half.
12 of 14 at the free throw line for Wake Forest. They've hit 5 threes. They're shooting 50% from the field. They're up by 10. 20 seconds left first half. Shot clock at 11, 9-second differential. Curry on the floater, he got it. Timeout, Wake Forest, with 16 seconds flat to play here. And VCU, I mean, think about this, Noah. I mean, they're shooting 50% from the field as well. They've hit 5 threes, but they've turned it over 13 times. We'll be right back. 16 seconds left here. It's an 8-point Wake Forest lead. They have the ball, as we were saying before we went to break. The numbers are the same for each team, both shooting 50% from the field, 50% from three-point range. They've each hit 5 threes, but it's the turnovers. I mean, like you talked about at the start, 13 for VCU. So many missed opportunities on the offensive end.
Yeah, and right here, everybody's got to be ready to make a play for Wake Forest because they're going to bring this pressure.
Hildreth up top for Laravia. 8 to shoot. Down to 5. Laravia, 2 seconds. He got it back. It's good if it goes. It's a 3. And Wake Forest will get him involved in this second half, Noah.
Yeah, and just 1 assist as well. So they just got to get him going. Even if he doesn't score, touch the paint. Get down to that ACC logo, get a foot in the paint, and then make a decision if it's going to be you or your teammates. But just got to continue to be aggressive. And he was a big-time recruit. He turned down schools like Villanova, Georgetown, Maryland, Seton Hall, and others to attend VCU.
Well, that's one big thing that Mike Rhodes and his staff have done. You know, Jamal Brunt, who played for him, J.D. Byers, Brent Scott. You know, they focus a lot of time on, you know, getting to know these guys in the recruiting process. And I know it's been hard, right? As Hassan Ward dunks it in because of COVID and not actually being able to go there and a lot of stuff on Zoom. But you know, it's not just basketball with these guys. It's making sure that they're connected and they work with them and they understand what's going on in each other's lives. And it's that personal connection and touch that's made them so successful, I think.
Yeah, Coach Rhodes is definitely looking forward to having a real offseason with Ace Baldwin because he hasn't had one yet due to injuries and due to COVID issues around the program. But he's going to have a full offseason with them to develop him.
Williams missing on the 3. And a good box out there for Walton. And it draws it over the back foul on Hassan Ward. That's going to be his second.
Right here, a little curl screen down low, dump it down. Hassan Ward able to jam it. And that might get Ace Baldwin going, just easy pass.
Yep.
I never passed as a player, so I can't really relate to that, but
yeah,
I imagine that would get you going if you were a passer.
Well, you have to get other parts of your game going when you are struggling from the field, right? Just to feel like I'm in the game, I'm affecting this game, right? It's not always about scoring only. And look out, Laravia comes back for Wake Forest. And it's back to an 8-point lead.
Yeah, he's really tough, and you know, you're right. If you're not making shots, go get a rebound, go tip a pass, and then that'll get you involved. But Jake Laravia, you see the hard work paying off. He's got such a silky touch.
Oh, and it's Ward again, throwing it down.
7'3" wingspan on Hassan Ward. So if he gets around the hoop, that thing is going to be flushed.
Williams thought about the 3 instead. Laravia here. He gets it knocked out of his hand. Stays with the Demon Deacons with 16 to shoot.
But Jake Laravia physical to the floater. And then up top, Hassan Ward slips the screen. Throw down.
And that's 2 feeds from Baldwin. We've talked about on the assists.
And I've seen him game manage before. He's a little quiet in the first half and then takes over late. It's got to be an and-one.
Yeah, a lot of contact there from Ward. It's going to send Walton to the free throw line.
And Dallas Walton playing great. I mean, he's seen the outside touch, and now we've seen the inside game. Back down goes to the hook. He's been great lately, huh?
He has. He's turned it on. He's also doing a really good job outside of basketball. Had an internship at Nike. Had 3 interviews, he said, back in the fall of 2020. Was working with their corporate narrative and storytelling department. His future, besides basketball, is very bright.
Well, this guy's employable because he can play pro basketball. He's a data science major from the time when he was at Colorado, along with entrepreneurship and journalism. And then he can do your corporate narrative and storytelling, whatever that is.
Yeah,
but I imagine
exactly.
it's quite valuable.
Well, he's working on his master's in communication, and he's battled through the knee injuries, 2 in high school, 1 at Colorado. And now here, it's his 5th year, but he still has another year remaining as well. So he'll make the decision on that and where his career is going to take him. But outstanding young man here, Dallas Walton. Number 13, who's got it right now at the top. Puts up an NBA range 3 and just off, and rebound by Baldwin. Williams. It's going to be a foul on Alondis Williams for Wake Forest, who picks up his first.
But I like that shot from Walton. You have to shoot. You have to shoot open shots, otherwise it throws off your team's rhythm. And he was wide open on the kickback, and he already hit 2.
Baldwin gives to Williams. Now Nunn. Williams for 3. Too long. That's a foul on the rebound on Wake Forest. The inside position was there from Jalen Deloach, and Isaiah Musius is called for his 3rd for the Demon Deacons.
J.J. Deloach, his sister ran track at Ohio State. Brother Kalen played football at Florida State. Where's number 4? Because that's he and his brother's favorite number.
Coach Rhodes just got 3 very talented freshmen there, Deloach, Nunn, and Kern. And there's one of them there with Nunn, who misses, and they get it back.
And Deloach just active around the hoop, able to get a piece of that basketball and tip it in. But good things happen when you relocate as the big when the ball's in the air.
LaRavia, 4-3.
He can really shoot it 40% on the year. Only 65 attempts. I expect that number to go up next season.
He's got 2 years of eligibility remaining for the transfer out of Indiana State from Indianapolis, Indiana. Here's a runner by Deloach. Comes back for the quick 2. 7-point lead, Wake Forest. Demon Deacons have hit 6 3-balls. LaRavia's got 9.
And a little mano-a-mano going back and forth between the 2 foremen.
Back to him. Williams is guarding him for VCU. Blocking foul.
Of Banner's just sustained success. And, you know, Mike Rhodes has put his new version on it, but it's still that trademark of incredible defense. Oh, that's a good block. I thought he had it clean there, but of course that set up Shaka Smart for the rest of his career. And we know about the coaches that have coached at VCU and sustained success that they've had.
I mean, you have to go back to kind of when it really got rocking and rolling was with Jeff Capel. I felt like back in 2002, 2003, that was his first season. Then the next year they went to the NCAA tournament, then the NIT, and they missed it in 05-06 his last year. Then that's when the run of 14 of the last 15 started after that. Anthony Grant, who's at Dayton now, and Shaka Smart, of course. Ball tipped around, and VCU's Deloach puts it in.
And J.J. Deloach has taken over this game. His activity, the tip-ins, impressive.
Oh, speaking of which, alley-oop from LaRavia to Dallas Walton.
Oh.
Nunn, though, comes back for 3. Jaden Nunn, that's a big shot. VCU After all that, Noah, they're within 5 with 5 minutes gone by in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, that was the silencer after the big jam. They would have come down and knocked down a 3 in about 3 seconds, bring it within 2 possessions.
LaRavia. No. Rebound. Deloach got it knocked out of his hands, so they're going to call out of bounds as LaRavia after he stripped it.
Yep.
It bounced out of bounds. Good call.
Yeah, he went around the backside, had his feet on the line. But how about this? Flip it up and throw it down. Dallas Walton at 7 feet tall. Ooh.
I was wondering for a moment when we were talking to him earlier, I was like, is this guy 7 feet? And then I realized I was standing on kind of the court, which is raised up a little bit from where he was standing.
Yeah, you have all those tricks. You bring a little stool, you stand on it.
So maybe I step down to the level that he's on, and then I'll recognize that he's actually a foot taller than I am. Driving to the hole is Deloach, and he's fouled.
And now we're seeing just the offense is open up. I mean, nobody can seem to get a stop. It's back and forth scoring.
Hadeen C for his second personal foul for Wake Forest. Feels a little bit like one of these games where one team, especially after at least the first few minutes, has been controlling it throughout, and that's Wake Forest, right? But just slowly but surely, VCU is chipping away here. I mean, in this free throw, they can make it a 4-point ball game. Feels way more of a lead than 4 if you're Wake Forest, right?
Yeah, and the way they play, they're never out of it because they turn you over in such a hurry. Even with down 8, down 10 with a minute left to go, you always feel like VCU is in it. So Wake Forest needs to continue to keep the foot on the gas pedal.
It's a foul here. Brown Jones again, the second. Yeah, there's really only been 2, maybe 3 losses this year for VCU when they have not been in the ball game. Out of the 9 that they've had this season, they've been right in there. Had an overtime loss as well. Here's a 3 ball. That's off the mark by Williamson. Deloach has it.
But Jake LaRavia threw that ball out when he had a defender in the air. You got to just power up and jump into that defender and go to the free throw line.
Baldwin still looking for his first points, but has dished the rock. He's got 3 assists. Here's Curry. On a strong drive, he's fouled his way in.
He can really fly. Excellent speed for Keyshawn Curry.
Alondis Williams with his second personal foul for Wake Forest. Deloach takes a seat. Good minutes for him.
And that wasn't shooting, but I thought it was. I thought Keyshawn Curry was up into his shooting motion, about to take a layup from about 7 feet away.
There's a foul before the inbounds. So that's going to be on LaRavia, his third for Wake Forest. So now each team with 5 team fouls in this second half, and we've played just less than 6 minutes.
He's got to be careful. He's playing really well on the offensive end. Don't want to pick up that 4th this early.
None. Kicks it, Curry. Good recovery there by Hildreth for Wake Forest on D. 7 to shoot. Baldwin. Wild runner, no. LaRavia's got it.
I thought that was a foul. I thought he saw the mismatch. He attacked LaRavia. LaRavia, I thought, hit him with the forearm.
LaRavia. Nifty behind the back feed for Hildreth, who is fouled by Baldwin for VCU. His third.
Yeah, and I thought Cameron Hildreth goes into his spin. There's no foul there. He just falls.
Yeah. They said with the leg kick there, but there was really no kick. It's a tough call there for VCU.
But man, these 2 teams are playing hard. I mean, you forget about all the noise 10 days ago, whatever it was, 5 days ago, disappointed to not be in the tournament. Now you got 2 teams competing in March. I mean, this is what it's all about. They are playing really hard.
You get an opportunity to win a championship. Very prestigious championship, though, by the way. I don't think people understand. This was the tournament back in the day, the NIT, okay? And there's not a lot of teams that get to end their season with a win, right? Not a lot at all. And Coach Forbes is telling us about that. And this team in Wake Forest, who's had the second biggest turnaround in NCAA history in terms of a one-year turnaround, winning 18 more games than the year before. They want to keep it going. He said 20 wins is good, 25 is great, 30 is special. Well, they're one win away from 25 wins this season if they can get this one tonight. Baldwin. LaRavia is fouled, pushed by Curry. That's his third personal. And get ready for free throws here down the stretch. 17 foul by VCU. We've got 12:51 remaining as LaRavia is going to head to the line.
And remember, LaRavia started his career at Indiana State and was a second-team MVC performer. But it blows my mind with the amount of transfers that happen in college basketball now. How wrong coaches, recruiting services, and rankings still can be.
Yeah.
When you think about the great transfers that Wake Forest has, none of them were ranked top 100 transfers. You think about a kid like this doing work in the ACC, started at Indiana State. So sometimes, players are like, I think I was under-recruited, and the players are proved right eventually in their college career.
Sure, it could be, and then also sometimes it's just a better fit, right? I mean, that's why Steve Forbes is the ACC Coach of the Year. I mean, for good reason and what he's done. You bring this collective group together, and it says a lot about coaching, of course, and you can manage and get them to play together as a team. 6-point lead, under 13 minutes to play. Stockard for VCU. Foul on Cameron Hildreth for Wake Forest, his first.
He stuffed the cut and basically chucked Ace Baldwin, who's cutting.
Stockard's out. Trying to feed it inside to Ward. It's taken away. Monsanto feeding Williams, and he misses.
I don't know if Hassan Ward bothered that one.
Baldwin for Williams. What do we got here? Blocking foul on Monsanto.
Oh, man, and Vince Williams Jr. took quite a hit right there, but this is how you fill a lane. And Ace Baldwin saw it all the way, dish it back. And Vince Williams Jr. tried to go over the top. And it's an easy block call. It is an obvious block call. He's in the protective circle. But as soon as you're in there,
right,
you can be in there as a secondary defender. You have to jump. If you're on the ground and you're in there, listen, I'd like to get you in there. I'll take my knee right to your chest, buddy, and I'll go to the free throw line. Because it'll always be a foul on you if you're in that cylinder.
Find another way to give a good example of that, please.
Oh, wait, I want to get you on the block, baby. Come on.
This kid's getting into it here as the noise here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Pretty good crowd, really, to be honest with you here for Wake Forest. This fan base has recognized what this team has done, and they're supporting the Demon Deacons here as they try to win in this second round of the NIT to advance to the quarterfinals. Hard drive to the hole. Foul is called on Nunn. And heading to the free throw line is Williamson.
Yep, good drive. Able to get into the paint, and Steve Forbes told us he's just an unbelievable kid. I mean, those are the words he used, that he is special as a person. Puts the work in. And put on 40 pounds of good weight. I wish I could, coach would say, man, you got to put on 40 pounds.
Right.
Are you kidding me? That'd be great. Double up the calories.
Well,
what a life.
It's really, to hear that and do it the right way, I mean, that's not easy.
Yeah.
You put on 40 pounds, like you said, of good weight.
And it's really hard when you play as much basketball as a D1 player plays. It's not just lifting, but you're practicing, you're doing individual workouts. That's incredible.
For
that
sure.
He's able to have that level of success changing his body.
Agreed. for each squad. They've each have 8. And we got a 1-and-1 situation here for VCU.
And everybody on the floor currently for VCU has 3 fouls. That's incredible.
Wow. Baldwin, Williams, Curry, Ward, and Nunn. Ward cuts it to a 4-point game.
VCU finding a way to hang around. Even during those Wake Forest runs, they've had the counterpunch.
Here's Williamson. 1-0, we got a foul.
And it's a good call. It is a foul. Watching the pressure of VCU, and you watch Alondes Williams bring it up, it is really hard to bother him because he's an excellent ball handler, but he's wide and he's strong. So he just gets you on a quarter step and puts you on his shoulder, and you can't get to the ball. I mean, he is not bothered at all by that pressure, and that speaks well of him at the next level, where he's not bothered. He brings it up. It's like a walk in the park against VCU, and you can't say that about a lot of players in the country.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's the 4th personal foul, too, on Ace Baldwin Jr. Let's see what Coach Rhodes does here. He's out. And Josh Banks is in. 33 for the Rams with 11:46 left. Williamson. Last foul of the 1-and-1 variety, because the next one on VCU is 10, and Wake Forest will be shooting automatic 2 for the rest of the game.
And both these teams playing so hard, they want to play in the Garden. A lot of talent still left in the field. Remember, they're going to play Texas A&M next. On the top side, SMU waiting. A lot of action tomorrow as well in the NIT.
Yeah, 5 games. Williamson is a perfect 6 for 6 from the free throw line for Wake Forest. Here's a 3-ball by Williams, and Vince Williams, his 3rd of the afternoon, 21 points, 3-point ball game.
A huge answer by Vince Williams.
And Williamson airmails it for Monsanto.
That's the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen a diagonal pass to the corner go out of bounds, but Vince Williams Jr., he just sizes up Alondes Williams and shoots over the top. You're going to have a lot more pressure on a guy who shoots 38% from 3.
Each team, well, as that happens, second half turnovers are now 3 for VCU and 2 for Wake Forest. So they've kept it down in that category, but this turns it back over to the Demon Deacons.
And you see the frustration from Mike Rhodes, where it's just an entry pass to the wing. And that's got to be something you're able to complete if you want to be one of the best teams in America. And if their turnover percentage throughout the season was about 15, 16%, they would have been one of the best teams in America.
Foul on Curry. That's his 4th for VCU.
You know, it's not often that you can point to one area as a team and go, that would be the key.
Right.
Usually you got to shoot a little better, foul a little less, make free throws. But with VCU, it's just those turnovers. They're a killer.
Hildreth with 2 free throws for Wake Forest. (22 of 25 at the free throw line here at 88% for Wake Forest in this game. That's impressive.
Now you want to win in March, and especially in tight games and late, got to convert from the free throw line. It's probably the most underrated part when young players think about their own game. They don't focus on it enough.
No.
You know, you see guys around the country, they shoot 40% from 3 and 65 from the free throw line. It's hard to understand.
You're absolutely right. It's like that short game in golf, right? Focus on that.
We got to get out there.
We do.
We got to get out there with Isaiah Musius, who just picked up the game over the pandemic. So he started playing a lot.
Talking about number 1 for Wake Forest. VCU at the foul line, by the way, too. They're 11 of 12, so they shot well. They just haven't had nearly as many opportunities as Wake Forest has at the stripe. Now Williams trying to feed it inside, intercepted by Hassan Ward. Williams, he is fouled by Hildreth.
You know, I like Alontis Williams in the post. And he was definitely posting to pass. The entire arena knew he's just waiting for the double team to give it up. And I thought he had the little jump hook on the second dribble, but he took 2 more. And
19th foul by Wake Forest.
but sometimes you have your mind made up down there. A lot of guys, they want to shoot it. They get on the block, they're like, it's my turn. He was trying to set everybody else up. He's so unselfish, but I thought he had the shot.
Vince Williams with a 1-and-1 here for VCU.
It's a big miss.
Yep.
With a chance to cut it to 3.
Still a ton of time. We're halfway through the second half, and a scooping runner by Williams. Alontis Williams for Wake Forest. He's got 14. It's a team high. Tying Walton, his teammate. Williams trying to put up the 3 ball. And his second attempt at it, so to speak, is off. And now Wake Forest has a chance to go up by 10. In and out on the 3 ball from Monsanto.
I don't like that shot by Monsanto. He's a great shooter, but not really open and not really on the line. About 4 feet behind the line.
I think he felt they were feeling it right with the crowd, the 7-point lead, but does VCU take advantage? None. 5 to shoot. 3 left. Has to hoist it up. Nothing there.
Good defensive stop by Wake Forest. Now Cameron Hildreth rather has the right idea.
Now what's up with that one there from Hadeem C? If you didn't like the other one, what did you think of that?
Yeah. Well,
jeez. It's almost like if you're Wake Forest at this point, don't give them opportunities to get back into it here.
Yeah, and the clock is your friend, right? You want to run shot clock, get an open shot every time.
That's a great play, and C makes up for it on the block. That time of the offering from Banks. Kept in play by Hildreth, and he misses on the 3. Ward's got the rebound.
Yep, 3 threes in a row. Way off for Wake Forest, trying to close this game out.
Williams stops mid lane, gets to the Banks. Loses it. Traveling violation.
Alontis Williams, the ACC Player of the Year. Big body, great touch inside. Wake Forest on top here, trying to close it out and move on, but VCU plagued with foul trouble. You see the number of players that have either 4 or 3. And for Wake Forest, that means don't take the contested 3 in transition. Put the rock on the deck, get into the post, and try to foul out some of these guys who are on the brink. And then you can continue that parade to the free throw line.
Yeah, there was that sequence where they had 3 threes in a row that were to no avail. 2 of them are really off the mark. And I agree with you. Try to see if you can get some of these guys for VCU knocked out of the game. There's still 8 minutes to play as well. You know, and also to your point, too, I mean, they're shooting 89% from the free throw line, 23 of 26 today.
Yeah, and you take an open one in transition, you know, if you're up, but if it's semi-open, if it's a little contested, your feet aren't fully set, pull it out, use the clock, and try to use that free throw line as a weapon to close out the game.
VCU has actually knocked down 7 threes in this game. Wake Forest has hit 6. Shot clock here to Williams. Almost, but an offensive rebound by Hildreth. And then they go off with another 3 ball. That time by Monsanto.
And another one, you got to pull that out. You get a new clock. You know, everybody says the best time to shoot a 3 is off an offensive rebound, but that's not a universal truth in every situation ever. Pull it out. You get an offensive rebound. It's a gift.
Monsanto with the interception for Laravia. We're under 7 minutes to go. 7-point lead. Hildress off the screen. Pops back for three. Rebound, Deloach. 6 straight misses from three-point range. The other way, 3 ball is off by none.
Let's go.
There you go.
You know, the school spirit runs deep.
Yes.
As it does for these two programs.
Former Princeton standout Noah Savage. I'm Mike Corey. Good to be with you here today from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Second round of the NIT. Here's a 3 ball from Williams to the Demon Deacons. Not there. Rebound by Ace Baldwin. Winner moves on to the quarterfinals to take on Texas A&M on the road next Wednesday, the 23rd, or this Wednesday.
Yeah, Wake Forest going ice cold from 3, leaving the door open here.
Williams
VCU.
fouled on the drive. And Musius is 4th. Every foul from here on out is a 2-shot foul.
Yeah, Vince Williams has matured a lot. The senior from Toledo, Ohio, lived in the gym over the last 12 months, really acted like a pro, according to Mike Rhodes, and has elevated his game to the next level.
Trying to cut into this Wake Forest advantage. Tons of time remaining. 5:55 still left.
Yeah, they go at practice at about 1:30 every day, and gym's always open. Guys are in there in the morning, 7 a.m. They're in there at night, 11 p.m.
Going to change the foul to Dallas Walton instead of Musius. So he's got 3. Walton has 2. And now Vince Williams has. That ball's off the knee of Wake Forest's Monsanto. And so it's Rams possession. They get it right back.
Yeah, and that's what you mean when you're talking about being physical and meeting the ball against the VCU pressure. A little too casual on the inbound, and a great play by Keyshawn Curry. You know, if you did get swiped on the arm there, you got to be so physical with the ball that it's obvious to the official. But he got him clean, I thought.
I was about to say that Williams, number 10 for VCU, has now 40 total points in the first 2 NIT games here for the Rams, and 17 rebounds. And he's got it again and feeds the pass underneath. But a traveling violation is called on Nick Kern.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I thought it was a great pass by Vince Williams, and Nick Kern, he doesn't agree with that call either. Look along the baseline first, thread the needle, and then he bobbled it on 1-2. I think you're allowed to do that. Take 1-2 as you catch the ball. And then another foul here on VCU.
It's going to be on Kern. That's his first personal.
We've seen a number of times on bounce passes with VCU where they haven't been able to catch it cleanly.
Right.
Passes delivered behind them. And talking to Mike Rhodes, he's like, we're going to spend time on fundamentals. Jump stopping, catching. I thought that was a great pass, though, by Vince Williams, Jr. Here's another guy who can really pass along to Williams. How good has he been? And one thing I've noticed seeing him today is he's so steady, Mike. And he's just, he plays at his own pace. Can't speed him up, can't bother him. And that trickles down to your whole team, that poise.
It's a key why they've had such a good season. This group, 2 rare misses at the free throw line, and saving it from going out of bounds that time was none.
Okay, touchdown along the sideline.
Yeah, 2 feet in.
Yep.
Could have been disastrous. He turned that ball right back to him. See if VCU can capitalize after the missed free throws. Here's Williams. He is fouled.
Another one on Dallas Walton inside. An excellent stop and go by Vince Williams, Jr.
I feel like with this the foul situation. This is one of those games that just keeps getting extended, right? And the more time that goes by, I mean, you're VCU, you're chipping away. It's going to be a 3-point game here if he makes this free throw, and that's the case.
And the ugliness of the last 4 or 5 minutes, that's in VCU's advantage.
Listen to this. 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Wake Forest is on a scoring drought. And a traveling violation. And VCU's had no field goals over the last 6 minutes and 20 seconds. All that's been happening is coming from the free throw line here. It's a 3-point ball game. 13 turnovers now for Wake Forest, 19 for VCU.
And this is the definition, whoever comes out of here, of winning ugly. Can you win when it's a slog and it's just nobody hitting field goals, a ton of fouls, a ton of turnovers?
Baldwin dishes it. Ward. Williams taking matters into his own hands. Team with 2 timeouts remaining. Possession arrow favors Wake Forest if we get a jump. We still have 4:45 remaining in the contest. Winner moves on to take on Texas A&M on the road on Wednesday in the quarterfinals of the NIT. Blocking foul at Wake Forest. Musius, that is now his 4th.
As Musius tried to blow up that play, tried to sit on it. They knew that Ace Baldwin was flying off a double screen up top. So they tried to just cut him off at the pass, and I think got there a fraction of a step late.
Baldwin at the free throw line. First point of the afternoon for Ace Baldwin. 0 for 6 from the field. His first trip to the free throw line. He's got a chance to cut it back down to 3. He does.
Every time Wake Forest looks like they're about to put this away, VCU hanging around.
Williams. Nice kick out. Wide open for 3. LaRavia not there. Offensive touch. Got it back inside the Walton. Back to LaRavia.
Great pass by Dallas Walton. Had his head up. And what a cut by Jake LaRavia.
Williams for VCU not there. Rebound by Monsanto as the home crowd is on their feet. Williams for Walton.
Big possession for VCU here.
Baldwin is fouled on his way in. LaRavia's 4th for Wake Forest.
Well, Wake Forest getting past that pressure, floated up to the big fella. Yes, Dallas Walton inside.
7 teams in the ACC in the postseason. 6 of the 7 winning their first game in postseason play.
Yeah, and how about UNC knocking off Baylor today? And that side is wide open because they're going to head to play the winner of UCLA versus St. Mary's. And remember, that's the same bracket where the 2 seed Kentucky already lost to St. Peter's. So, man, if you had UNC maybe going to the Final Four, that's looking pretty good right now. And, you know, more credence to the argument that this ACC this year is underrated.
I don't want to per se equate it to this, but I was just thinking because they're an 8 seed, and I know they didn't win the conference championship, but if you think back, the highest seed to win the NCAA tournament for a while was back in 2014 when UConn won as the 7th seed, if you remember that. So you got UNC's an 8 seed right now. They have a legitimate chance, right, to keep moving on, and you never know what can happen.
And remember, Wake Forest blew them out right here. I mean,
right?
22-point victory against UNC. Again, strengthens that argument how good this Wake Forest team is.
We've got a 6-point game here with VCU and Wake Forest, 3.5 remaining. Winner to the quarterfinals of the NIT at number 1 seed Texas A&M on Wednesday. Whose ball is it? Stays with Wake Forest.
Man, they barely got it across.
Yeah.
I mean, there was 21 on the clock when they went across. So Wake Forest got to keep an eye on that, breaking that pressure.
Each team still with the 2 timeouts. Williams finding LaRavia, now a 3 ball is up and good by Williamson.
Finally, they're able to get one of those threes to go.
Monster 3. They're 2 of 13 from 3-point range from the field. VCU has had no field goals in the last 8:32 of this game. Foul on Walton. And Deloach to the free throw line, and he is grasping at that left ankle.
Yeah, I feel you may have turned it, may have stepped on Dallas Walton's foot.
Yeah, twisted it as he went down. Just trying to get that shoe tied up. Now VCU free throw situation here. 18 of 21 at 86% this game. 82% for Wake Forest at 23 of 28. Deloach okay. He's going to try to shake it off here as he get head to the sideline. Oh,
yeah, he didn't step on the foot. He just turned it on the ground. And, you know, as a player, you can walk that off and feel fine in about 30 seconds, but sometimes it still feels a little scary, and other times you're injured, and it's hard to tell in the moment how bad it is.
I did a game earlier this year at VCU. Keyshawn Curry had turned his ankle, and it looked really bad.
Yeah.
Or a knee, I think, and he goes down on the ground. He's on the baseline, got the towel over his head. He got help coming off the court. He couldn't put any pressure on the leg. Goes back to the locker room, talked to the members of the staff. They're like, doesn't look good. Probably not going to play in the second half. I'm like, yeah. 3 minutes later, he comes walking back like the Willis Reed or Larry Bird from the locker room, and he plays unbelievable. I mean, that just shows some of the resilience of these VCU players, and that was Curry earlier this year, number 11. Now here's Deloach, and
it looks like he's definitely in some pain.
Yeah, so he's out.
The more you turn, listen, as a young player, you get your first turn angle, and it looks like he's okay, but Ace Baldwin's going to shoot the free throw. First one's scary, and actually the more you turn that ankle, the more resilient it becomes. It's the opposite of what you would think, but again, that stoppage and the choppiness, I think, helps VCU because it kills Wake's momentum.
1 of 2 for Baldwin, shooting. Now a foul coming up the court on Ward.
And because I was an injured player, Wake gets to choose the free throw shooter, so they put Ace Williams at the line. So Ace Baldwin rather at the line. Sorry, most good players in this game are named Williams. So,
exactly. Right. So after 1 of 2 for Baldwin, now it's LaRavia who's got 2 free throws, and this could put the lead up to 10 with 2:49 left.
And if you get up 10, now you really want to play good defense without fouling if you're Wake Forest and get out of here with a win.
25 of 30 from the stripe. Ward gets it to Williams. Baldwin up top. Ward, he's fouled.
He's just got those go-go gadget arms. Mm-hmm. Throw it anywhere around the rim. He's going to get a piece of it and able to go up top. But I think right there you just make it hard. You make it hard for him to put it in without fouling if you're Wake Forest. .27 total fouls called in this second half.
45 for the game.
Hey, you think I was playing out there, you know?
Ward is now 4 for 4 from the stripe. 8-point game. 237. Of course, feels like 12:37.
And I haven't pointed out bad calls. I mean, I think
right.
they've been the right calls. Just two teams playing really hard and playing physical.
Williams has it. Spinning it away from trouble. Got it knocked away. Rolls out to LaRavia. Then he gets it over to Monsanto for 3, and he is fouled. By Jaden Nunn.
A broken play. VCU almost comes up with it. I like the pass to the corner by Jake LaRavia. But obviously a bad foul anytime you foul a jump shooter.
How about Monsanto? Tore his Achilles at the end of May this past year. Came back in January to play with this team. I mean, that's not something that's done very often with that type of injury.
Yeah, and another player who came over from ETSU with Coach Forbes, and he compared him to Chris Lofton, who he coached at Tennessee, a guy who can go on a 9-0 run by himself.
He puts his team up 11 points here. Nunn with 2 minutes to go for 3. Jaden Nunn, big shot for the Rams.
Hanging in, and now you got to handle the pressure again. Your Wake Forest.
The 11-point lead tied the largest of the day, and we got to have another foul. Let's see who this is on. If it's on Baldwin, he's done for VCU. They called it on Curry. Yep. Well, that's it for Curry. So pick your poison there, I guess. Either Baldwin or Curry was going to foul out. It was Curry. They called it on him. So Keyshawn Curry's done. 6 points today, 4 boards.
Right here, they pass it over the top. He tries to split. As wild as this sounds, I thought that was a clean play. I thought they got the ball, and then he lost his balance. But that's probably... that might be the last we see of Keyshawn Curry at VCU. Great career, very productive, and you know, he's definitely getting the love from his teammates as he came out of the game.
Well, we shall see. Still 1:47 remaining. Williams trying to push the lead back up to 10. Can't do it. 17 points for him today.
Leaving that door open.
Yep. Wake Forest's leading scorer. Williams. Baldwin thinking 3 ball. Offensive rebound Ward. Nunn for 3. Tipped. Ward saves it. Nunn's got it again. Nice move here. Kurt inside. Can't go. And Wake Forest has the rebound. LaRavia. The fans feel it. Monsanto. LaRavia gets it in. Williamson. Maybe the last possession here where you can just kind of play it out with a shot clock. Oh, and it's intercepted. Williams for VCU. Williams is fouled. Almost gets the 3-point play opportunity.
Now it's unlikely. There's a lot of time left, and that bad pass on one end, and then just kind of trying to wait for time to run off. And Vince Williams Jr. does the right thing. Get into the paint, try to get fouled. That thing almost went in.
We told you earlier about Wake Forest winning the 2000 NIT. Wake Forest's last trip to the NIT came in 2006. And they were defeated by Minnesota in the first round. So if they get this win here today, it'd be their 5th 25-win season in program history and the first since the 2004-05 campaign. They're 36 seconds away. Williams, oh, exclamation point.
What a jam along the baseline. Skywalking.
Williams misses. Wall to the rebound. Back up to Alondas Williams again, and he blows it this time, but with just 13 seconds to go. Wake Forest, after this 3-ball from Jaden Nunn, goes. Foul's called on Baldwin. That's it for Ace. He is fouled out. Didn't hit a field goal today, but had 4 points from the free throw line. Did have 4 assists and 3 rebounds. Tough night after the 23-point effort in the round 1 win.
And he's had a great season, and a guy who's going to get a full off season, get to continue to work on his game, spend time with the coaching staff at VCU. But, you know, there's so many A-10 teams still alive. You know, St. Bonaventure playing Oklahoma tomorrow, ESPNU, 8 p.m. Got Dayton still in it, going to be on ESPN2 tomorrow at 3 p.m. And that league next year is going to be tough. Now, you're going to lose all of the Van Wilders of the world who have been in college for 6-7 years. Right. But, you know, what if Richmond can go to the Sweet 16? I mean, what a year it'll be for this conference.
It's a good way to put it. Nunn for 3. Rebound, Williams.